Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can take a moment of silence. Okay, Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Supervisor Stalin?
Present.
Clerk O'Brien? Present. Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Marson?
Present.
Trustee Severs?
Present.
Trustee Melody is absent. Assessor Morella?
Present.
And Highway Commissioner Robinson.
Present.
Okay, so moving on, public comment?
Everybody signing?
Okay, hearing none. Moving on to approval of minutes for, if I could have a motion to approve the minutes of April 27th, 2026. April?
Yes.
Oh, they were supposed to be in the packet the last time and we missed it.
I'll make the motion.
Marson.
Second.
Gray. Okay. Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
And Trustee Marson?
Aye.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, and just for the record, I pulled the May 11th minutes. There were just a couple things in without, if you can go on it, didn't want to make the changes, so they'll be on the next agenda. So then the next minutes are May 15th, 2026. If I could have a motion to approve those.
I'll make the motion.
Severs
I'll second.
and Marson.
Okay. Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
And Trustee Marson?
Aye.
Okay, and then reports from township officials. We can start with the trustees. Trustee Gray?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. Just wanted to let everybody know that we are having a special Veterans Meeting this Wednesday, June 18th, in the Town Admin Building, same time, 7 p.m. And we're going to be discussing the next item, which we're working on, which is the Salute to the Veterans at Homerfest. Homerfest is June 24th to June 28th this year, so it's coming up pretty quickly in 2 weeks. We're doing the Salute to the Veterans at noon on Sunday the 28th, and we invite all the veterans in the community as well as their families to come on out. It should be a good event. There will be a flyover, food trucks. Commissioner Robinson is going to coordinate some military vehicles, hopefully. We'll have a band playing and Boy Scout troops, and it should be a good event. So just wanted to remind everybody, Sunday the 28th, noon at Homerfest at Heritage Park.
Looking forward to that. Okay.
I just want to wish everybody a fun and safe 4th of July. I'd like to wish Trustee Gray a very happy birthday today. And again, I just want to second Trustee Gray's sentiment about attending the Veterans event at Homerfest at noon on the 28th. And actually, it starts on Thursday the 25th. But that's it. You said the 25th.
I'm a little off. You know.
That's okay. You just came back from vacation. So that's all for my report.
Wait a minute, when's it now?
It starts Thursday, June 25th is when the fest starts, but the veterans, the Salute to Veterans is on Sunday, the 28th.
Right. Got it.
Okay, Trustee Marson?
No report.
Okay, and Clerk O'Brien?
Yes, also wishing Trustee Gray happy birthday.
Thank you.
We had senior bingo on June 9th, and I wasn't sure how many for the summer, but we had 85 seniors. And Marion Village is sending more and more each month. So our next bingo will be July 14th at noon at Cross of Glory. Our senior committee meeting is tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the Township office. There is on June 24th, I'll be attending the second clerks collaboration at Will County. The 25th, the township officials of Illinois are having a workshop at Lamont Township. I will be also attending that. We are going to be having voting here at the town hall in November. And the Senior Expo is September 12th. We're going to be finalizing more everything tomorrow at our meeting. And one other thing, I did get an email from Angel Kimmel. She is resigning from the senior committee. She's sad to not be able to commit at this time, but she hopes she can in the future. She wants to be able to put my all in, so I just wanted to make sure that was on record. That's
Thank you. Highway Commissioner Robinson?
No.
Okay, and Assessor Morella?
Yes, I have a report, thank you. So the assessor's office has finished our level, so all our adjustments to equalize assessed values are submitted to the county. So as of right now, we're in like a standstill position until the AR opens, which is kind of nice. We're probably going to add 1,000 homes to the roll coming up. We are quite busy in our office, let me tell you. So we got a lot of stuff moving. And a lot of new homes being built. I don't know if you guys go down 159, you see there's some there. And we got Old Oaks, so Lockport's building up too. So New Lenox has got Tierlings, which is, I don't know if anybody's been over there, but there's quite a bit of homes in that area. So get a chance, definitely. So our township's definitely growing. That's all I have to report.
All right, and there's no collector, so moving on for my report, I'm going to say again, happy birthday, Trustee Gray. Say it not. Trustee Marson and I participated in the Canal Days Parade on Friday, and we had one of our maintenance trucks drive while Trustee Marson and I walked down handing candy, and it's a very impressive crowd that they get for their parade. And I really enjoyed the creativity of the floats were pretty nice, and the weather was perfect. And then the weather was perfect again on Saturday. The Homer Glen Community Nature and Harmony Foundation had a 5K race at Heritage Park, and they had over 125 participants. And I point that out because money raised through that foundation will benefit the township parks and open space as well as the village parks and trails. Also, I attended the Senior Expo in Lockport Township, so I have a lot to share with you on that, Tammy, or Ryan, haven't done that yet. And last month, we discussed a zoning case regarding Badger daylighting, wanting to move over to a parcel on 159th Street. And then following our board meeting, we had a special meeting that Friday, and we passed a resolution opposing the rezoning, and it went before the Plan Commission at the county. And they voted in favor of it 4-3. And then from there, it went to the Land Use Committee. And I think the Land Use Committee was hearing us, and what they ended up doing was tabling it, because they're going to explore a possible other parcel that the mayor of the village of Homer Glen thinks that might be more suited for that zone. It would still probably rezone to the C4, but it would not affect the residents. So that, the meeting, I think, for the county is July 2nd. So before then, hopefully we'll hear something, but I just wanted to give you that update.
If that piece of property, though, since the mayor of Homer Glen is working on it, I'm presuming that would be an incorporated
Possibly,
lot,
yes.
so it would not come before us nor the county board at that point.
Correct. You know,
If they
if they go forward
If
with
they
that.
have an incorporated piece.
Also, we have some seal coating projects coming up tomorrow and Wednesday. At the senior housing, they're not going to be able to park in their driveways, and we did a call today to all the residents, which I know it was short notice, but with the weather last week, we weren't sure what was going to happen. I don't think they knew either for sure what day it was going to be. So the parking lots and the driveways there will be seal coated, as well as the admin lot. And so if anyone wants to visit the admin office on Tuesday or Wednesday, they can park at the library. The library is aware of this. And also the Morris Park lot will be seal coated. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, the rental house at Trantina Farm and the dog park. And we will be putting a sign out at the dog park tomorrow morning, when regulars know that they won't be able to park there. So that's all I have for announcements. So what I would like to do next is call to order for a public hearing. And do I need a motion to call us to order? Okay. So I'm Susanna Stein, Supervisor of Homer Township. It is now 7:10 p.m. on June 15th, 2026. And I hereby call to order the public hearing on the tentative budget and appropriation ordinance for the Homer Township Road District Equipment and Building Fund and the Road and Bridge Fund. And then we will follow the same format for the Township Town Fund, the General Assistance Fund, and Parks Fund, Open Space Fund, and Founders Crossing Bond Fund, and Founders Crossing General Fund. Hopefully I didn't miss one in there. So, Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll to the Board of Trustees.
Sure. Trustee Gray,
Present.
Supervisor Stein,
Present.
Trustee Severs,
Present.
Trustee Merson.
Present.
Okay, and then for the record, the clerk has certified that the tentative ordinance has both the road district and the township ordinances were on public display in the lobby of the admin building, as well as a notice of hearing was published in the Daily Southtown on May 10th, 2026, all in compliance with the 60 ILCS 1/80-60 and 50 ILCS 330/30. So we have a quorum, and therefore we can proceed. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to receive public comment on the tentative budgets and appropriation ordinances before the board considers its adoption. So no other township business will be conducted during this hearing. So if we could start with the road district budget. Highway Commissioner Robinson, would you like to comment on that? Okay. And then if there's any public comment from the floor? Okay.
This is something the public doesn't have to sign it, right? They can make comments.
Right, they can make comment now regarding the budgets. Okay, hearing no comments, I'm going to close the public comments for the road district. And so I'm going to ask the trustees if I could have, we're going to proceed with the budget, if I could have a motion to adopt, let's see if I can read this right. Okay, if I could have a motion to adopt ordinance HTRD-0615-2025, Homer Township Road District Budget and Appropriation for fiscal year 2026 through 2027.
I'll make that motion.
Great.
I'll second.
And Trustee Severs. You could call the roll.
Okay, Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Supervisor Stein,
Aye.
Trustee Severs,
Aye.
and Trustee Merson.
Aye.
Okay, and then the motion carries. And this ordinance, just for the clerk, this ordinance having been adopted, the clerk is directed to file a certified copy with the county clerk and to post the adopted ordinance on the township website at the clerk's office. Moving on to the township admin budget. I have a couple comments that I would just like to make. Beginning balance for the year for all funds is $2,231,182.91. We are going to appropriate $3,367,920. We're looking to receive income via levy and other funds of $2,121,365.12. And we are hoping to end the year with $1,361,000. We've all gone over the budget line by line. I would also like to add that one of the things that we did from the last year is we reduced the amount spent on personnel by over $90,000 through Commissioner Robinson reducing his salary, and as well as on the admin side, we reduced one person, and I have to say, I probably carried that load. And that was worth like $45,000 between the two of us. We saved $90,000 on this budget. So, moving, and if anyone else wants to make a comment regarding this budget? Okay, if I could hear, is there any comments from the public?
What's included in the budget?
Okay, well, it is quite a few number of pages, but it's for starters, the founder's bond we pay every year for the buildings. And then there's the general fund, which funds the maintenance personnel for the Founder's Crossing and all the repairs. And then we have a general assistance fund, which covers for emergency needs of residents of Homer Township. And then we have, I should just go through the fund.
What fund, town fund?
And then the open space fund is the Trantina Dog Park and Healing Garden. And then the park fund covers Morris Park and the now certain area at Trantina Farm where the Civic Center building was built and the playground there. And then there's the town fund, which covers the assessor's office and our admin office and any general expenses of the township. So for example, we just replaced the parking lot out here. That comes out of the town fund. So it's a lot. And we showed income as being a little bit higher, but that's in anticipation of getting a grant, which you may or may not receive.
Yeah, so where do you get your income from?
The tax levy. So for the combined funds, for the, I take that back. The ending balance was going to be, let's see, I thought I put the levy here. The levy was $1.3 million for the taxes, and that's all the income that we get really, other than if we get a grant, or for the founders, your rent goes directly into the Founders Crossing general fund.
And then our firm just takes care of Founder's Crossing?
Yes, it doesn't get used anywhere else in the township.
But it also pays off originally there was a bond, so there's a bond in place, and every year we have to pay the bond.
And what's the bond for?
That was what built Founder's Crossing.
All these years ago, you're still paying that?
Yes.
There's just a couple more years on it. I believe it was a 25-year bond that was issued like.
Isn't it due like the 23rd, 2027?
Yeah, it's done in a couple of years, but it's just like a mortgage. It was paid off, it had a scheduled repayment over X amount of years. And I don't remember the exact number of years that it was. And the previous board just refinanced it or whatever just a few years ago. I don't think they lengthened it at all. They refinanced in order to kind of knock down how much it cost because interest rates were more favorable. So they saved a little bit of money, but it didn't really change the schedule, the payback schedule. And again, very similar to a mortgage, it just had a schedule that rolled out for 20 plus years.
And what is the monthly payment?
I believe it's about $160,000.
Yeah, the next one's 160 and it's about
$160,000. So out of the rent and everything, right? The rent covers the bond payment to start with, and then the maintenance and upkeep of those units as well.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And I think I mentioned this at the last meeting, just that one maintenance person that's assigned to the Founders Crossing costs $126,000 a year. So then we add that to the $167,000 that gets, that's not a salary, that's in benefits, and when you add it all together. So and then you add that to the $167,000 that we have to pay for the bond. It doesn't really leave a lot and we're doing seal coating, landscaping, and we replaced so much
I just
more.
want to know who that maintenance person is because there's one that doesn't deserve it.
And just so you know, I mean, everybody's aware, but certainly you're here. The bond, or the budget does lay out all of that. So if you go online, and I would not recommend getting print on any of our agendas. This is 142 pages, but you know, go to the page that you're interested in as part of our budget. You can see everything that we're anticipating as far as our revenue, as well as everything we're anticipating as part of our expenditures for the entire year. So you can see where all that money does
So
go.
on the menu, it would be under financial.
Yeah, it's in this packet. So if you just go to today's meeting and click on the packet, download it on your computer and open it up as a PDF, and then just go to the pages you want. You can see the line items. You can see that every month. Every month, all of our payables are in here that we pay out for every fund that we have. So there's always for founders, you know, what it costs that month, personnel, payments, things of that nature. So. It's all very readily available to you. So, and if you need, you know, if you have questions on reading it or something, contact one of us or bring it to the next meeting, and we can, you know, come 5 minutes early. We'd be more than happy to, you know, go over any questions you have. So it's pretty straightforward. Once you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find and easy to understand.
And then after it's approved tonight, then a separate budget document will be
Yeah,
posted
the
under the
finance,
finance
right.
section. But for right now, you have to go to the packet. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, so...
I just had a question. Supervisor, is there a agenda item? I mean, an agenda for this evening?
No, I'm sorry, that we didn't
We
have
didn't
copies
print,
brought.
I'm sorry. It is on your phone,
No.
but you know, you don't have to sign in to make comments during we're in the public hearing about the budget. So if you want to ask anything right now about the budget, you're welcome to.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on then, if I could have a motion to adopt. Sorry. I'll pick it up to tell me everything that was in the budget. All right. Okay, a motion to adopt ordinance HT 2025-0615, Homer Township budget and appropriation for fiscal year 2026 through 2027.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Stevers and Larson.
Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Supervisor Simon,
Aye.
Trustee Severs,
Aye.
and Trustee Marson.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion carries. All right, moving on.
Do you want to read that thing?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you. This ordinance having been adopted, the clerk is directed to file a certified copy with the county clerk and to post the adopted ordinance on the township website and at the clerk's office. And that now adjourns the public hearing. And the time is 7:23. You have to record that. And we're moving back into the regular meeting. Okay, moving on to approval of payment for the May 2026 bills. Is there a motion to approve payment for May 2026 bills, certificate of deposit, equipment and building, Founders Crossing bond, Founders Crossing general assistance, open space, park, road and bridge, and townhouse?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Marson. Trustee Gray.
Hang on, I have a couple questions.
Oh, okay.
On page 1 of the expenses on the town fund. Sorry, please. You know, take a minute to get them. So on page 1 of the expenses for the town fund, it shows deposit on town hall, 5680, 25.
Yeah.
We
It's rental.
had $5,680 worth of rentals in 1 month in this building.
I know we had a significant amount of rentals. It was, like during Ramadan, we had, this was being used Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes once, twice, yeah.
It's only $25 an hour.
All right.
This number seems inordinately high.
Well-
It would have to be like 24/7, I think, for the entire month. So if we can just look into that, if you can just get back to us and let us know what that one is.
Sure.
And then on the very next page in the packet, about midway on 517, there's an ACH, which I believe was, is that a transfer? Emo Harris for office supplies for $73.88.
Which page?
The very next page after the first question. Yeah. So about midway, 517.
738820?
Yeah, it's just says BMO Harris and it says office supplies, IT, dot.
Yeah.
Can we get some more information on that, please?
I believe that's the credit card.
That's the
Right.
credit card.
Yeah, because that's how they know the office supplies, and all that.
Can we still get some more information on that? It seems a little high again for the credit card too. I mean, if things are totally up that high, maybe we should start breaking some of that out. So maybe if you can send the trustees breakdown of the credit card so we can see what all is going into that. And I think, hang on 1 second, I think. Oh, and then another thing is, I know that at the beginning of this, we have that income expenses balanced by fund year to date. And I don't want to belabor the point. I used to find it much more comprehensible when in each fund, each line item had what we spent for that month, what we budgeted for the year,
Oh.
and then what we were at, accruing year to date in each line item.
Right.
That was how we were able to see at the end of last year that the founders' costs and utilities had gone beyond
Yes.
the budgeted amount. This page, while
I know.
I know it was asked for, and maybe it's helping somebody, it's not helping me at all.
No, there's a reason for this, and it's because there's no budget until tonight.
So after this?
After this
Okay,
one,
we'll catch that
yes,
back up.
right,
Okay.
I totally agree.
All right,
Right.
that was all my comments on it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to stop the process for the breakdowns of those other things, but I'd like them subsequently given to us.
But back to the deposit. It says something about item are up under that deposit, that's the 5,680.25. So,
I see that in the deposit detail, but
yeah, so that's not making sense to me either, so I'll get back to you on that.
okay. Then, and then again, the credit card, like I said, if that is indeed the credit card, we can just see the detail.
Yeah, I can't think of any major
Right.
item that we bought either, that would be under office supplies.
File cabinet.
Oh, that was $1,000, wasn't it?
The file cabinet,
Okay.
they bought the fireproof file cabinet for the clerk. We did with that.
Again, just, let's see the detail, and we can all make those determinations then.
I mean, we could include a credit card detail
Okay.
in the report.
Right.
That would-
Yeah, because I mean, that's kind of a big chunk and it's miscellaneous and we don't really see the detail on that. It's not going to be any more burdensome, I don't think, in preparing the packet, so.
In fact, I think the state is passing something for that.
Yeah, we're asked to meet out every month.
Yeah. Okay.
The bill they're passing.
Any other comments? All right. So we have a motion, a second. And so, call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Supervisor Skylin.
Aye.
Trustee Severs.
Aye.
And Trustee Marshall. Passes.
Okay, next item is the approval of an auditor for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. And I don't know if we have a complete motion prepared for this. We have used Hearn and Associates, we have no complaints about them, but we have used them for the past 18 years. And it's probably a good practice to go out and request RFPs requests for proposals from other audit firms and compare pricing and just reconsider. I think it's sometimes nice to have a fresh set of eyes looking at things. Sometimes when you get so into a routine, you don't pick up the little credit card bill or something like that. So, what I did is we had a list of auditors from township officials of Illinois that audit townships, as well as we notified Hearn and Associates that we were going to do this. And Sagan Hayes also does our current, they report our payroll. And what that means is we give them the figures and they just put it on the form and file them for us. So they're not really involved in analyzing management.
Well, they're doing the tax filings, right? They're doing the tax filings? Is that what they do, the tax filings?
Yes, that's what they do. And so, so there was some discussion of could we consider them as an auditor since they, are doing, have done stuff, but that seems to negate that they weren't really hands-on any of our finances. One of the other things that we are planning to do is we're talking about trying ADP services for payroll. And the reason for that is we can't get the direct deposit without it because the road district is getting direct deposit, but our employees can't get direct. They somehow can't, the way it's set up, with the two different direct deposits. So if we switch to ADP to do the payroll, we wouldn't be probably using Sagan and Hayes anymore.
Because ADP will do all the filings. ADP will do all the filings.
Yes, they'll do it all. And actually, I think we're going to save money that way.
Yep.
So that's why they're included in here. And there is a summary, or each firm submitted something about their employees, their references, and I did. So just a quick review on Sagan and Hayes. They were a current one of ours, and they are also the auditors for the Village of Homer Glen. So that was their references. Evans, Marshall, and Pease, I believe I think they were, I put it in my notes, just got I know that Niles uses them, and I called them to see if they were happy with them, and they were happy. Actually, all of them came highly recommended. And then Hearn we currently use, and Lauterbach and Amon, they had a really long list of, you saw it in the packet, and I contacted Troy Township because I admired the way that they do their budget and their paperwork, and they had good things to say about Lauterbach and Amon. So just opening it up for any discussion, and any questions or thoughts?
Well, I like that Sagan Hearn is $2,500, $33,000 less than the others, and obviously there's going to be no learning curve with them. I did look through some of the, it seemed like most of the stuff that they were all saying that they would do was pretty standard, and they would all do the same thing. There was nothing that really jumped out at me that said like one firm was going to do anything above and beyond or outside of the box. So given that, my recommendation would be let's stay with Hearn and save the money. It's already an exorbitant amount, I think, anyhow, just for audits that are, again, these are kind of the unfunded mandates that come from the state. You must do an audit every year, but and the price of poker suddenly goes up because of the fact that now we're a captive audience, I think. So.
The reason the other ones can't be as low is because it's not just it's a matter of loading up all the documents in the system.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We won't have that learning curve with Hearn.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I thought that Lauterbach and looked good. I mean, I was impressed with their presentation that they put together, but yeah, I guess it does make sense to be penny-wise here and stick with what would be the most cost-effective option.
Yeah, Jen, is there anything worth $3,000 more than the other board and three that are hurting us and for us? I really don't see it. I think it's all kind of board material. So, again, with the price they're giving us and the fact that they've been with the township for 18 years, my recommendation would be just stick with that.
Yeah. I do agree, though, with your original opening statement that it is a good idea to do this exercise occasionally. 18 years is a long time, and it shouldn't just be perfunctory, re-awarded to them just because they have the luxury of having been around for a long time. We've done your due diligence. I think we've gotten those proposals, and they all are very explicit in what they're going to offer. It's just like I said, after reading through them all, they don't seem to be that different. I think this is kind of a lane, and that lane is very curtailed on what they're going to do. You know, I don't think it's not creative on any of their parts because they lack creativity. It's just that's what they do. So, and at that point, I would just rather go with the one that has the learning curve already established and is going to be the lowest price one. So.
And Trustee Melody and I met and went over all of them together. For folks who don't know, he's also an auditor for something, not municipal government. And all of them were fine with him. We lean towards Saigon and Hazelden because they know us, and maybe could give us some advice. But we could always still reach out to somebody else if they're looking at advice. But as far as the audit, so I guess the question is, Hearn gave us a quote and they weren't asked to go to 27, 28, the other ones did. We just asked for 2 years. And so do we want to sign an agreement with them for 1 year or 2 year?
We're going to keep the pricing the same for 2 years.
Yeah.
I'd say sign for 2 years.
Okay. Well, then if I could have a motion to approve the hiring of Hearn and Associates for auditor for the Homer Township fiscal year 2025 through 2026 and fiscal year 2026 through 2027 with the contract to be approved upon attorney review.
I'll make the motion.
For 2 years. Okay, Severs, Trustee Severs,
I'll second it.
and Trustee Marson.
Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Supervisor Stout,
Aye.
Trustee Severs,
Aye.
and Trustee Merson.
Aye.
That passes.
Okay, moving on. Approval to post a request for qualifications for an architect to develop a schematic design and design development concepts for the community center build out for a change of use of the community center. And if you look in the packet, I put an example.
I'll make the motion to approve the request for qualifications for an architect.
I'll second.
I do have a couple of questions too.
Okay, fire away.
Pardon?
Fire away.
Oh. I'd like to amend it and remove the number 4 design scenarios. The number 4 scenario says, consider 4 different level design services, 4 separate design concepts defined as follows. The first one is the large assembly and recreation use. The second is the recreation facility and meeting rooms. The third is a hybrid community model. And the fourth is a garage/maintenance/storage facility. Modify the structure to be used as storage space for Homer Township parks, road district, and other community and government needs. I'd like that one removed because I don't think it keeps with the survey that we put out there. We did not ask anything in that nature. I don't believe any of the responses were overwhelmingly asking for anything like that. So if we do bring in an architect, I would not want to be spending money on a design that I don't think that is going to have much support.
This idea came out at the Open Space Committee meeting, and the reason for that would be if we could replace this building and those two buildings, but right there, and make the Civic Center, that community center building serve that purpose. So it could still be used as a meeting space. You know, what it would involve is actually tearing up the concrete floor to make it so that you could put vehicles in it for like part of the building, and then part of the building could still be space for this. That was the idea behind it, and just to see what the cost of that, estimated cost would be. And then the potential of selling this property would be behind that. That was,
I understand that, if this were not to be this whole parcel here, the two buildings over there and this building were not part of our inventory of buildings, I could understand that, but this is a fourth design thing all on its own, and it's only saying those things.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, I mean, I'm not, we've not gone down that rabbit hole that far. If we lost this building, I would not, my vote, my seat, this is me, is not really that keen on doing it, because we would need a civic center even more, or a community center even more, I think. We could find other places, I think, where we'd be able to store the things that are in those buildings there. Obviously, this building could be replicated over there. I think it would be a hard sell for me and for the public to turn that into any kind of maintenance or storage facility. So.
well, it was maintenance, storage, and meeting space.
Well, again, it's not really that. It's number 4, garage maintenance storage
All right.
facility.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to expand the hybrid community model
Yeah.
and say that was that in there.
Okay.
But again, we've all been through that building. It's 10,000 square feet. It disappears very quickly once you start carving it up and using it for, these two buildings right here are a fine example. It's
Yeah.
one of those things, that they get filled up, and especially the back building. I've been through it once, and it looks like it became a catch-all, which is the sin of having more space.
Right.
You've got the space, well, let's keep collecting stuff.
Right.
And it's kind of like I would hate to see that happen to that piece of property. That property has been promised to the community
Right.
for years now
Okay.
as something for the community. So I think that is not in keeping with it. And like I said, that was not part of the survey
Okay.
that we put out there. And
So we could remove that. It was just to get some costs, like if it would make a difference. So-
yeah, and again, I think the RFQ for the most part is just talking about, let's get an architect in there. I'm saying once we do that, once we select an architect, I would not want to task them with that,
Okay.
because I don't think that would be money well spent.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think that, the way the concrete is poured now, it can't handle the weight of vehicles, correct? Or
Correct.
should not. So it just seems like it'd be a big expense to tear that up, to re-pour something, or whatever would need to be done. And yes, agree with Trustee Gray there. Yeah, I feel as if this is not a use that
Yeah.
the building was intended on.
Well, we did have somebody on the committee, I'm not saying one way or the other. We did have somebody on the committee who is very versed in construction and large projects. And he said that he'd be surprised if that cost might not be that bad in comparison, of doing that. So it was just a way of trying to get money and save money.
Sure.
So, but we can remove that. I don't have a
Well, I'm
problem.
all about the get money, and if you want to continue to look into selling a piece of property for getting money to help finish that building, I think then we'll put our creative caps on and find out how do we replicate what's there. Maybe we
There
negotiate with the Township Road District, either share facilities over there or, expand their property and,
There has been interest in purchasing this property, just FYI.
Okay.
That's
That's great.
Share it because.
That's great,
because
right?
we
But like I said, I think that this
Yeah.
out of the blue is just kind of like, it's not in keeping with it. And I
Okay.
think that's a conversation that's either got to be had or put off and look for other. And personally, I think it's put off because because the community has been promised that building, so. So do I need to amend my motion, Jason?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to amend my motion to strike the fourth design, design scenario, the garage/maintenance/storage facility.
Did you second? I seconded.
Mercy.
I'll second it.
So we wouldn't even have the change of use, it would just be community center build out.
Yeah.
So the motion is to approve and post a request for qualifications for an architect to develop a schematic design and design development concepts for community center build out with the scenarios 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Supervisor Stone. Aye. Trustee Seaver.
Aye.
And Trustee Merson.
Aye.
Okay, under old business, update for the community center is we had put out the septic system out to bid because it was not bid properly prior, with the prior administration and the grant people. In order to get the grant funding to pay for the septic installation, we had to put it out to bid again. And bid opening was on Wednesday, and we didn't receive a single bid. So I contacted 3 of the companies that did receive packets for the bid. One of them just had a lot of projects already scheduled, and if we could extend the deadline to October, they could possibly do it. Another one just didn't get around to it, and the other one is out of the country. So I had relayed that information to the grantors, and they're going to get back as to how they want us to proceed. And so there's just going to be probably a little bit delay. And then when I did talk to all 3 of those potential bidders, they are still interested. So it's just a matter of...
So it's not a flaw in the bid that you put out?
Correct.
I know.
Well, the one of them had bid before, and, he said, well, I've been through this before, and, you're going to add 4 possible versions of how this could be done and try and do a comparison, because there's already one design for that, and then we could have the potential 3 different designs of what that would look like. And so he was a little bit skeptical, and he had so much business, this is a small project for him. So, but if we extend the deadline, he would consider it. So that's the update, because we're trying to move forward on this, and you can't get the water going unless you have a place for it to go. So the septic is the first thing. So that's the update for the community center. And then moving on to new business, we discussed the Will County zoning case last month. That was the Badger Day lighting project. And we couldn't vote on the resolution because it wasn't, on the agenda as an action item. What typically happens is when we get a zoning case notification from the county, I forward it on to all of the trustees for your comments. Sometimes I forward it to it's going to involve roads, forward it on. I don't know if you want to see those as well. I'm happy to forward it on.
I see them anyways.
Huh?
I'll see them anyways.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see them before you.
You may. So I guess I just wanted to spend a couple minutes on reviewing the procedures for that, because do you want them to be listed on every agenda following that, or is there anything different that trustees would like me to do with those zoning notifications?
I think it's a good idea to have it on the agenda, only
Okay.
because we had a room full of people last
Right.
May that were very upset about the Badger thing. And
Well-
I don't know if that was their first look at it, we're here to be the spokesperson for them,
Right.
for these unincorporated areas.
So we put it on the agenda, it just wasn't on the agenda as an action item.
Right.
So I could put them all on the agenda as action items so that that potential, it's just, it's like for one of them, this past month that you might have seen, it was for something with putting in a swimming pool and our variance was a setback variance. Do you want all of those?
Again,
And again, I don't mind doing it. I just want to know if that's what you want on the agendas.
I want to say, no, we don't need to see that, but we're speaking for 40,000 other
Right.
people.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, what isn't important to us per se, important in quotes, is important to somebody. So more information is always better and let the public make that decision, I think. So while, I don't want to overburden you either, and I don't want our agenda pages to go 3 or 4 pages,
Yeah.
but I think the public has a right to know these things, so.
Kind of in agreement.
Yeah, I think it holds us more accountable to
Yeah.
make sure that we're addressing and giving the public an opportunity to speak if there is a vested interest for them individually.
Sometimes there isn't enough notice to act.
Yeah.
For example, for the ones that we did email out, if I would have put it on the agenda, it's on tonight's agenda, but the hearing is tomorrow.
So it just all depends on when it falls and it's something.
Right, and I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know what would be the course of action for, if you get an email tomorrow, and we only meet once a month,
Right.
should that still be, and say they adjudicate it before our next meeting, I think that should still be on the agenda, only because we should say that, this is the action we did.
Okay.
On behalf of the township, we responded either with no comments, or, because a lot of times you poll all of us and ask us for our comments, and then you boil that down and put that into the county, either the land use or to the county board. So I think even on those ones that might get adjudicated by the county before our meeting, our monthly meeting, we should still have that on the agenda, and at that point, it could just basically be a report. This has already been taken care of by the county, but this is the input that the board put in, so.
Okay. All right, so going forward, you will see those on the agenda as well.
All right, other than that, I don't have any other new business. Does anyone else have anything to bring on? Okay, then I'd like to ask that we go into, sorry, say something.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'd like this to move into closed session, executive session pursuant to Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act, 5 ILCS 120/2C2, to discuss collective negotiating matters between the township and its employees or their representatives.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
Trustee Gray and Trustee Marson.
Trustee Gray.
Aye.
Supervisor Stadman.
Aye.
Trustee Stevens.
Aye.
Trustee Marson.
Aye.
Okay, so we're going to go into closed session. The time is 7:20. So you're going to have to leave.